Welcome to another edition of Autistic on Tour. We are in Greenwich Park at the moment, walking up to the Royal Observatory. So that is something that we are going to do. Actual park, if you want to see it. But yeah, at the moment it's Royal Observatory, and then it will be Cutty Sark and some other bits, if I can get them in. Should be a good video, but who knows with the chances of filming and the ones that are doing things for YouTube. It's quite a nice park. There's a lot of dog walkers, joggers and birds cheeping about at the moment, so yeah, we will see how this goes. I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, I have two facts about the Royal Observatory. One, it appears in a Big Finish Paternoster Gang Doctor Who story. The other one, which actually is about the history of the Royal Observatory, is that while it was being built, the observatory equipment was put in Tower of London, and the ravens, for whatever reason, kept messing up the equipment. So the ravens in the Tower of London would have been removed, which of course was been a bad omen. But for whatever reason, I think they realised they should make them stay. But yeah, that was when the Royal Observatory was being built, because of course buildings took quite a long time back in the day. You can't see it on the camera because the camera doesn't see far enough, but when you're walking up here, you can see Canary Wharf and all that kind of stuff up there. But yeah, if you want pictures of the city and like seeing the O2 and all that kind of stuff, this is one of the best places to do it, at least to me, in South East London. So you get a huge view of quite a lot of the city. You see a bit of the down at the bottom of the Greenwich, I think it's the Maritime College, but yeah, you get all the big buildings, all the skyscrapers of London you pretty much can see in this area of London. It's just a nice view where you wait, if you're waiting, or if you just like taking photos of the city. Also a good place to come. Here, and it opens at 10 o'clock, so we've got ages. I can't remember it being up a lot bigger hill, but presumably last time I was here I was much smaller, so you know. But yeah. So these are the things to do. Stand on the Meridian line. Best views. Charles First room and other stuff. Full stops. Okay, so this is the telescope. It's no longer used, but it's the most modern one they have out of the different versions. But it was used, talking about the first telescope, how it was used in wartime and war damage and during education. So yeah, it was taken away but then put back in 1975. So, and this would all open up when you're actually observing things, from what I remember. As far as I remember when I was a kid, there was a joke that one of the tall people would do of you could see Pluto if you looked through one of the telescopes, and there was a little sticker of Pluto on the dog from Disney on the end. But that's a video of presumably people using it and opening it up. So it's one that looks so weight of stars and we'll head back down stairs. So there's another trolley set. I will not use my camera for that, but I will go down properly. Okay, a little bit of sensory things. As you can see from the video I put together of how much there is a lot of light changes because of course some of the things in the museum or the observatory are really quite old now. I mean, it's 350 years old, so there's a lot of light variation when you're walking through the different spaces. It's not too bad, but I'm just saying that if you do have sensitivity to that, it might be good to wear something like sunglasses or something similar. It's interesting of the history. I mean, it was interesting. A kid said, if I stand on the Meridian line, does that mean we're not in the UK anymore? Which is interesting kid logic. It's an interesting thing, as I said, it's about history, about time, and how time evolved. Because until basically the Victorian era, we had individual timings for things in our individual cities, because it's only with industrialisation and things like trains and things coming in where we needed to be all the same, really, because places did have individual times to each other. So, and of course people sold time, so they'd go around and with a pocket watch and go, today it's this, and they never set their watches to it, or their. So I'm walking down or back around and down towards Cutty Sark and that. So park is reasonably busy. I am here on a Saturday because I need to work some more times to take days off so I can just film stuff, so it's a bit quieter. But at least you get an idea of what things are like. There's a lot of people walking around, lots of joggers, lots of exercise people, bicyclists, all that, families. So in the park they have a few cafes and things like that. I just remember as a child the amount of times my grandma would go, "We're not spending money in the cafe," and I'd be like, oh. But trying to pay for cakes and juices for 3 kids is probably reasonably expensive, even in the 90s. So I can see our point. But yeah, as I say, it's quite a big space. I can't remember. I didn't look off the top of my head of how big Greenwich Park is, but it is a big space. It is. I mean, it is a royal borough, so it's going to be a reasonably large space, I imagine. There are public toilets as well in the park, so you can use them. So if you're just having sit around and enjoying the thing, you can also use facilities. It is a reasonably big hill when you're coming back up, but it's quite a nice gradient hill going down, so and you know, all the greenery is still on the trees. Probably when this video was up, all of that would have gone, but at the moment it's still early, or well, it's mid-September, so it's all pretty warm and green at the moment. So if people want to know the size of Greenwich Park, it's approximately 73 to 74 hectares, which is 180 to 183 acres. So it's a big space in London, and it's the largest green space in southeast London, which isn't surprising, but it's a good amount of space. We are leaving the park now and going into more kind of Greenwich towards the Cutty Sark. So let's go. Take a detour to the National Maritime Museum because I've got ages till my time on Cutty Sark, so let's have a wander and see if we can see something in the Maritime Museum. Okay, so this is 1428 onwards, and Greenwich has been a thing. And how much it's built up different spaces from like 1690. Also how different maps are produced, but Isle of Dogs go from Greenwich, Deptford, that kind of way. Okay, we are back out into Greenwich after our little detour. So yeah, it's going to be a lot busier, so I've filmed bits and pieces, but I won't probably film anything till I get to Cutty Sark. Choice of pie and mash here, with 5 choices of different pies. All come with a cup of tea for £7 each, if you're so inclined. Naval College over there, I believe. And we've got the boat in front of us, or the ship in front of us, Cutty Sark, so going in that direction. Okay, to get down to the Cutty Sark is a similar place to where I got the Greenwich ferry down the Thames. So that is over there, where Cutty Sark is there. So, much as people say, oh, it only just brought tea, it's still quite impressive as a ship. And of course, tea was incredibly important to the Empire. So, it's a quite important ship in our history, really. So yeah. But there he is. It used to not have this thing down below it, but I can't remember exactly how many years ago, but it got set on fire, and so a lot of it had to be reconstructed because it was just a shell at one point. So I'm not sure how much original stuff still remains, but of course the history still remains, even if everything else was kind of gone. Because none of this, when I was a child, was down this kind of metal bit glass panel thing wasn't existing. So but yes, so there is a package that you can do with the Cutty Sark and with the Royal Observatory, which is 38 quid for an adult. So you can do both. I can't remember if it's the same day or if it's in that prime period. But you'd kind of, if you're visiting, you would kind of want to do things in the same day. They're not far away from each other, as I say. The park's over there, and so yeah. That's something you can do to save yourself a bit of money. It's about 20 quid, I think, each one. So you save a little bit of money, not masses, but a little bit of money for your things. I'll put all the figures and all that kind of stuff at the bottom of what I've paid for things. Okay, so we have a map. So, got the main deck, between deck, the lower hold, and the dry dock. So we're at the entrance, so we're here, so we need to go up.
A major conservation project to treat a fragile structure began in 2006. And despite a terrible fire the following year, the vast majority of her original structure survived.
Almost all of this structure survives from the year of the launch, 1869. If you run your hands over the model, you'll feel frames for the beams of the shipwreck from one side of the ship. Cutty Sark smoked. I just like all the salt dust in my hair. Honestly, I kind of don't care.
Lighters before we got our letters, so you can guess when we got them. Roof of here, all round. As soon as we cleared one bird, another will be reported. You could hear the sea roaring on them, and through them, the ice cracking, sometimes like thunder, at other times like could not see them. At 1 p.m., the top of an iceberg was seen, which one could hardly believe was ice. It was
Okay, thank you for watching my video. It's showing you some of the sights of Greenwich. It is a Saturday, so it's a bit busy at the moment. It wasn't too bad, but I did everything between like 10 and 12, so it's not too bad. Probably better in the middle of the week if you want a bit more tidy, or cleaner, or words, relaxed experience. It's not too bad. It's a lot of people with kids, with their very small babies, taking them around things. As I say, I think it's quite nice to see some of the stuff on here. I've seen them when I was a kid, but I haven't necessarily seen them since. There's a lot of course, naval history and maritime history around Greenwich, and it's it's, if you like this kind of stuff, it'll be good for you. As I say, a lot of history, to do with time and all these other stuff. There are a few things around which are Doctor Who related, which I haven't done. Like the Naval College, as far as I remember, is where some of Doctor Who was filmed at one point or another. But yeah, and of course around Cutty Sark and things like that. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's quite a small villagey, it's not quite village feel, but it's kind of not quite like middle of London. So as I say, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope to see you on the next one. Do all that nice things of comments, follows, and subscribing, and sharing around. If you think my video's good, and it's helpful. This one or any of them, share them around, help get my content out there, and make sure my little channel can grow. Again, if you've just sat through and watched the whole video, thank you for that, and see you on the next one.